Hey folks, today I will be looking into some texture creation, mainly for the background. I want to start with the terrain system and basically starting with mapping out the background, the grass, maybe two different types of grass in the same like style of a doodle. Maybe that would give me enough insight into how the rest of the graphics should look. And let me open up the project. Okay. Let's see. So the first thing I'm going to do is set up development friendly conditions. The first thing I probably want to test this out with the grasslands level. So I'm going to force spawn in the grasslands level. Then I want to disable the enemy waves. Let's see. What if we set it to 0? Then we don't get no enemies. No. Well, this. Let's see. Okay, because it's event based. So maybe what I can do instead is I disable the wave as well. And then the variation, we kind of want to stick to just one variation. Maybe we'll do this. And we're going to work on the well, this is true. Maybe I can do this. Maybe I can just comment out the entire thing, and then I'm just going to pick up some decoration level stuff. Okay, and this gives us, this is the grasslands level, and then it has a lot of trees. So I'm going to remove the trees level. Okay, now we don't get no trees, we don't get no enemies, which is great. And let's see, I'm going to, so there are currently two terrain levels. One is base, the other one is grass. Both are grass, they're just different types of grass. So what I am going to do is remove the second level, just leave the base, and then I want to have the base level have some noise applied to it, like so. And then I am going to, let's see, I'm going to reduce the scale and increase the threshold. No, I'm going to decrease the threshold. Yes, exactly. And I'm doing this because, let's see, maybe I can reduce the scale even more. And then let's see, the threshold. I think this is good. So the idea is to, instead of this green grass tile map, I want to provide a custom made, which is black and white and is in this so-called doodly style. And I'm spawning this type of noise because I want to make sure I see the edges and basically different types of cell having different types of sprites applied to them. And another thing I'm going to do is in the terrain mode, I'm going to turn on the debugger and I'm going to debug the depth. I'm going to debug the base level. And basically these red dots are occupied in the tile map and the green dots are free. And to kind of make sense out of what's happening here, I'm gonna show the asset. So this is in terrain, and these are the different tiles. So basically we have this grid of dots, and for every dot, based on its neighbors, we decide which sprite it should have. And if we go to the sprite sheet that I'm using, if we go to terrain, and this is dirt, so we want kind of grass. So let me do something else. I can, in the terrain generator, I think I can scale down. Let's see. So in case of terrain level, this is the props level, we don't care about that. And in case of the terrain layer, basically this is how we are deciding which neighbors, which dots have what kinds of neighbors. And this is where we pick the sprite that satisfies our conditions. And in the following if statement, we are creating that sprite. Now, here, I'm gonna alter the scale of the sprite just so that we can see the separation. I'm going to put the scale to a little bit less than 1. And I think it's set. So we set the scale and hopefully, yeah. So now we can see what's happening a bit clearer. So we see that, for example, this green dot has one neighbor, which is in a top left corner. And because it has only one neighbor in the top left corner, we pick this particular sprite because it only has a transition to the top left corner. For example, if we have a sprite, let's take a look at this dot. In this case, we have a neighbor that is alive at the bottom, and then we have a neighbor that is alive in the top right. So based on these conditions, this is the sprite that we are going to pick. Now, for example, let's take a look at this one. In here, we basically have a dead sprite, like it's red, but it has a neighbor on the top, on the left, and in the top right. So basically, we decided, okay, for this particular set of coordinates, we pick this sprite. And so basically, that's all there is to it. Now, to kind of make this thing work, what we need to do is to create different versions of each of these types of sprites. In a style that we want. Yeah, it does look similar to the pipe dream. I think I saw that one. Maybe I'm mistaken, but it definitely has a resemblance to the games revolving around pipes. Okay, let's see. I will probably do the following. I'm going to open up Photopea, which is, by the way, a great tool, and it's free. And it is available, like it's a complete replacement for Photoshop, and it's available as a progressive web app, which means that basically if you are in a Chrome browser and then you go to photopea.com, in Chrome browser you get this little icon here, which we don't have in Firefox, that allows you to basically store it in your start menu and then run as a separate app. And despite being written in JavaScript, it's like 50 times faster than Photoshop. So let's see. Let's go here and count. So we have grass 1. See how many files we have. Okay, I don't think I have let's see, what's the best way to do this? Because I don't think I have the original version of the spreadsheet, or maybe I can get the original version. Let's see. Okay, here is the original version. And by the way, the pack that we started the development in the game jam is called Epic RPG Pack. Oh, Epic RPG pack grasslands. It's available on itch.io and it's absolutely amazing to kind of prototype your ideas. It's very well made, and the guy has like different bundles, and they're available for like a really negligible price. So let's see. We got the pack, and we have this tile sets here. Let's see. I'm gonna pick the tile set and drop it in Photopea. If I can find it. Let's see. So this is basically the tile set. And we are going to base our work on this alignment layout. See if I can add a grid. Can I change the dimensions of the grid? Okay, maybe I can do this manually. Let's see. What if, because this is pixel art and it's too low in resolution, and I want to have a bit higher resolution. So what I'm going to do is, let's say, this is going to be, of course, costlier. But what if so let's see, this is, oh my god, 160. Okay, so maybe I can say I want 1024 by 1024. And then we create this. Let's remove the grid, it doesn't do much. Show grid. Okay. Then I'm going to copy this. And I'm going to scale it like so. Okay. And then I want, let's see, how many tiles do we get? So this is 1, then 2, 3, 4, 5 tiles. And I think 1024 is not very much divisible by 5. So maybe 1024 is not the greatest size. Let's say if we let's say if it's 204.8, so let's say 1 is 200. So if we have squares 200 by 200, then we can, let's say, we get 200 by 200. Like so. And then we will have a let me change the color a bit so we can separate them. Then we get the rest of the pixels kind of on the sides. Like so. And then let's see, I'm gonna grab this once and take them out into a separate layer. And then okay, let's merge this. Okay. So this kind of layout seems to be correct. And I'm not sure how important it is, but it's always preferable to have textures of sizes that are powers of 2. I think it's just friendlier for the GPU since we're doing WebGL and this is handled on the GPU level. It will be much better. Well, maybe not too good because like we're doing JavaScript. It's not like we're doing rocket science here. Okay, and then so basically I'm going to scale this stuff to kind of be loosely aligned so that we have our guides. So something like this, and then I'm gonna drop the opacity. Maybe let's maybe change the blending mode. Yeah, so it doesn't interfere. Okay. Now I'm going to try and make like a simple version of this, just to see that the layout kind of sits correctly. So I am going to add a new layer, and let's choose red color. And basically I'm gonna do something very crappy, like so. And so this one, let's see if there are going to be any pixel fighting if I do this. Maybe. Yeah. Okay, so for that part, I need to make sure I use this little bit over here. And then I want to make sure I use this bit. Here. So that it aligns with the rest. And then take this part. And this part. Oh no, this is the wrong one. Gonna remove this. Okay, again, I need this little thing over here. Okay, perfect. Now what I am going to do, well, one thing I'm kind of stupid about, it doesn't matter what happens in this layout. It's good that we have it 100 by 100 because then it's a round number, but we don't really care about the size of the texture because this is not the texture we are going to be loading anyway. So we can just resize this and it's going to be fine. Oops, I accidentally rotated it. Let's resize. So this is perfect. And then this is the type of thing we get. Now I'm going to remove the, maybe I shouldn't remove the background. Let's fill in the background with white just for the sake of clarity. And then I'm gonna do this. Oops. Like so. Same thing here. Okay, and we fill this thing as well. So we get this kind of sprite. And we can change the saturation as well. We can keep it as it is. Okay, so I'm going to export this now as PNG, lossless. We don't want to lose any pixels. And let's say call this grass. And then I'm going to open the texture packer, which is it's a paid utility. It's not free, but I think it's a great investment. The price is not that high, and it's a great investment if you want to do texture cutting. This kind of tools, they exist in Unity and stuff, but if you're doing anything outside of established engines, I guess this is very handy. And so what we are going to do with this is, first of all, we want to split the shit. Because right now, the way we drew our textures, basically everything is kind of too close together. And the points of the cutoff, for example, here, when we kind of zoom in on the sprite in the game, the color will bleed out because this is not sharp if we scale it in. So we will have like the edges bleed into other textures. So if it cuts off like this, for example, and when we place this tile, we would see a little bit of red and a little bit of white on the edges. So to prevent that, we need to repack the texture. And to repack the texture, we need to first split it into individual chunks, which is something that we're going to do here. So I'm gonna just drop it into this sprite sheet splitter. And then sprite width is 100. Is it 100? Or was it 200? It was 200. And so this is what we're looking for. And now it's going to spit out a bunch of separate PNGs that we can use. So I'm going to do grass tiles. Select folder and save the sprites. So now we saved 23 sprites. And this is what it looks like. What we are going to do with this now, let's first go back to the code and see the grasslands JSON. So we have underscores, we have the name of the asset, and then we have a number that starts from 0. So I would like to respect that convention. And we are going to use a renaming tool to quickly fix our naming issues. And then we go to downloads. Where is that stuff? And grass styles. And then we replace the dashes with underscores. And that's okay. Then I will show the warning again. So we are fine here. So now this is renamed. And what we are going to do is just take all of this stuff, drop in here. And in the advanced settings, we want to force squared. And the magical thing here is we want to apply the extrusion. And the extrusion allows us to circumvent the color bleeding issues on scaling, which is very, very good for us. It kind of extends each of the tiles a little bit in width, applies an outline, so the cutoff points are safe. Now, since we are using Pixie, we can just use the Pixie output, and there is a bunch of engines. Here's Godot, by the way. So we use Pixie. We're gonna do that. And then I want to go to our project. We're gonna do assets, textures, terrain, and I'm going to do, so this is terrain grasslands. Let's put it in a separate file for now. We call it grass.json. And then we publish the sprite sheet. Now, when we publish the sprite sheet, not only does save the packed texture, because that's not enough, it also, texture packer spits out like the individual file names, and they're mapping in the texture file, which is great for us because now we can just load it up. Let's see. So here's where we do it. Okay, I'm gonna add an entry. Texture terrain grass.json. And then let's see what's happening. Create sprite terrain tile. What's this stuff? It's this. Okay. So here we supply the tile set, which defaults to this name, right? And then layer options, we get it through the options, which is fine. Now what we are going to do, let's create a different function. We call it sprite terrain tile 2. And now we just say that it's gonna be grass. And we get the tile set grass and then the number, which is fine. So this should be fine. And then we invoke this function, we import it. And now it's probably not going to work. Let's reload and see what's happening here. It didn't work. Let's see why. It is because we are using the wrong thing here, right? Now it doesn't work, but in a different way, which is good. There is some progress. And let's see if we are messing some stuff up. Let's see if there are other calls. No, this is the only place where it's happening. And the grasslands level uses the, let's say, grass. Now we get this stuff and it looks absolutely broken. And the reason is because the scale of our tiles has changed, right? So this means that we need to scale this thing down. Let's try and see what happens. Well, this is great. This is actually working. We need to find the correct scale. And the thing is, we will do that later because it is kind of dependent on a variable that is used in a lot of different places. So to test this, we are going to just manually put in the values. Okay, and we see how everything is shifted a little bit. And this is of course not good at all. And we need to fix that. So let's try to see what is exactly happening and why. If I'm gonna try and yeah, so basically the reason this is not working is because the the creator of the sprite sheet here, he made sure that the transitions between different elements are in the exact same spot. And I did not make sure that, of course. So they are all slightly off, and the curves are slightly off. And we will need to fix that. Let's see. So we can see that this style, maybe let me, okay, so this style comes, even though I made sure these are exactly the same, and this is the same as this, right? But then when this style, for example, it gets matched with this style, can it be the case? Yeah, exactly. So this style can get matched with this style. So they can be like side by side. And when this happens, we get a little bit of an offset, which is clearly visible here. So what we need to do is make sure that all of this connections are having the same contract points. And after we have this basic kind of layout, we're just going to duplicate it and like adjust it slightly to have like maybe two different types of grass style sets, and then maybe some bricks, and we'll stop there for now. Let's see. I am going to take a short break and then I will be back. Okay, I'm back. Let's see. Okay. So we need to be a bit smarter with how we are drawing this stuff. My immediate idea is to make a template tile that has like marking points on each of the possible intersection area. Like 2 points here, 2 points here, 2 points here, and here. And then based on that template, I will start filling in the rest of stuff. Let's see how viable that solution is. So let's make a new layer. And I suppose it's better if I put the marks on the same, like at the same distance everywhere. So it's probably better off as a square. So, and see, since we are, let's do black. So, this seems fine. And then we are going to repeat that pattern. Yep. I should have probably copied the second one as well. Like I should have probably just made a copy of this here. Should I do that? I think it should be fine. It should be fine. Did I merge a layer? Yeah. Okay, so I don't need this layer, and I don't need this layer. Great. Okay, and then what I am going to do is duplicate this stuff. Okay, the shortcut doesn't work. Oh no, it does. Okay, I confused it with the Blender's shortcut, so I just need to hold Alt and release. Okay. So the thing here is like this is not very good because I should have mirrored it instead of rotating, which kind of makes sense. Well, that's entirely my fault. So let's delete, and then we duplicate this and we mirror it instead. Place here, and then we do the same thing and mirror vertically. I think this should be better. Okay. Yeah, seems legit. Place it over here. And we duplicate. Okay, so this is our contract. And we can see how off we were. Now, what I'm going to do is reduce the, maybe I will multiply. So I just get the red color. And then let's see. Let's see this. Okay, so it's going to be kind of thinner. Which, we can't know in advance if it will look good or not, but we can try. We have our contract. Like the worst case scenario, we just redraw this little sticks. And now what I'm going to do is, let me switch to my tablet. Okay. Okay, here we go. I'm going to, let's see, Wacom tablet properties. Well, this it seems like it doesn't recognize the monitors properly. This is not great. That's weird. Hmm. Well, that will do for now, I guess. I will fix it later. Let's see if this is usable like this. No, the scale is way off. I'll fix it in the next stream. Let's see if I can do this with the mouse instead. Old school. Okay, let's like so, and then we fix this part. Ah. Okay. Now, oops. Whenever I have this kind of edges, I should probably reuse them, I think, or maybe not. I can redraw them. Will give some kind of uniqueness. Let's. This is too much. Okay. And we. Oh, too sharp. Okay. And let's do this. Okay. Now we need to trace through these parts. Okay. I think I messed up a bit. Okay. Okay, we are almost there. Okay, so this, yeah, well, yeah. So I think what I'm going to do is duplicate this layer separately, and then these two layers I'm gonna merge and remove the ones that are not needed, like so. So now the black lines, they should be matching fairly well. And I'm also going to remove these parts and apply some color. Oh, we have some left over here. Yep, and then probably I'm gonna add color in a separate layer. Let's see. So this is the stubs. We don't need this. We don't need this. We call this grid. And then outline. And we call this fill. So let's see. Tolerance 16 is fine, I guess. Let's see how it looks if I just fill this. Can I do this? Strange. Doesn't allow me. Okay. Okay, no, it does. It does. So I increase tolerance to 50 maybe. And then I apply the fill here with white. Let's make the background maybe red so that it can bleed through and show the defects. So we should probably with this, let me first of all apply the fill to this one. Okay. And remove the unnecessary bits. Then I do the same thing here. Oops. Not good. No, come on. Okay. And then crop it. So this part is fine. The middle level is kind of still a bit crappy. So let me maybe extract, or maybe I do a copy and then I apply some blur. like maybe 2-pixel blur. Can I fake my way through this? Yeah. Okay, so it filled the gaps, which is great. Now we have our fill and we have the outline, which is great. I think we should save. We should save. Oh my god, look at the cursor. I guess it's because it's a progressive web app. Or no, it's, I don't know, it's something weird, but it has to do with different resolutions on my screen probably. Okay, let's go here. src assets. And we call this grass. And hopefully now what I'm going to do, okay, let's see. I'm going to export this as PNG and we're going to do the whole thing of splitting it and then putting it back together. I'm gonna keep the names intact. We're gonna put this stuff into the splitter and then, okay, this is so weird. My cursor is still super big. Okay, and this was 200, 200. And save sprites. I'm not sure. Like this says like a template, but like it never works for me. Grass. What was the? It's curly brackets. Grass underscore n.png. PNG npm. Save. Okay, does it work properly? Oh yeah, it did. So now I don't need to rename. Oh, that's great. The cursor is super annoying. I'm not sure. I'm lost. This is ridiculous. I'm not sure what the hell Windows is doing, but I guess I'm stuck with this cursor until I restart. It's fine. So now let's, yeah, we do this, we force squared, we extrude by 3 pixels, and then the same file, we just publish. And let's see what's happening here. This is much better. So this is actually working now. And this means that if I go to the level, and what's fortunate is because the order of the split items, of the split tiles, is the same as it was with the texture pack I was using, because the layout is the same and I was splitting them in the same manner. It means that the IDs, the texture IDs, they're intact and I don't need to rewrite anything. And now, okay, what I am going to do is let's add another layer, which is also grass. And so the first one I want to kind of, yeah, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to create a first base layer, which is completely white. And then the second layer, which I call base 2, which has some noise-based holes in it. So now this should look much nicer. And it looks like this now. And I am going to, let's see, remove the debugging and this is great. And then all I need to do is to adjust the scale just enough for the edges to disappear. I'm not doing it in the correct place. Let's see. And we got our new tile map, which is beautiful. Now we can see what happens if we change the noise scale and we change the threshold. Okay, maybe 10. Yeah. This is better. Now, of course, this is not applied. It's only applied to grasslands. And now this looks better. We have the same style going on, and the texture, the terrain generation. Now, next steps are, first of all, like to make this look better, to make this look good in the style that we have in mind, and which means like to add some grass blades, some patches of grass, some different irregularities on the edges of these patches, and maybe another different grass layer based on the same sprite sheet. And then we will need to have like some rocks, maybe like some flowers, some trees, and stuff like that. But this is good progress. I'm gonna end the stream for today, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.